6 years old, filled with laughter and belief. Never thought of a life with grief. Every year, I would look forward to summers with my cousins. Every summer, it seemed like we would get closer and closer. They were my favorite cousins. A girl cousin about my age, and a boy cousin that is 6 years older. We would vacation, play, and even shower together. We were raised to see each other like siblings. And just like my own siblings, I would get annoyed by them and still love them. 7 years old, a gullible young kid that could come off as bratty at times because she is no longer the baby of the family. 7 years old, the year in which my boy cousin wanted to spend more time alone. 7 years old, the year in which I would naively play Simon Says with my boy cousin because the rest were focused on the youngest member of my family, my baby sister. I was 7 years old when my boy cousin first molested me and eventually raped me through the innocent game of Simon Says. It first happened in my brother's room with the presence of his sister. I remember going into the bathroom with disgust right after, because at his age, he had pubic hair that rubbed against my tidy body. I wasn't sure of what happened, but I stayed quiet because it didn't hurt. It just felt weird. I was 7 when I was silenced because we were just playing a game, and I thought my favorite cousin wouldn't hurt me. Eight years old. The game continues in different settings. At this point, I have gotten used to him using my body as an experiment and for his own pleasure. I knew not to avoid him because I knew what to expect. You see, if I told on him, I know it would have caused problems. Even though I wasn't sure of what was going on, I knew what he was doing wasn't right. 9 years old, he's put into scenarios in which he can't take advantage of me. Part of me was relieved. 10 years old, he no longer wants to play the game. After I asked if he remembers what he used to do, he pretends like he doesn't know what I'm talking about. So the past, as Simon Says, is left in the past until I get to middle school. 13 years old, I finally find out I was sexually abused by my boy cousin. 13 years old, terrified at the thought of being pregnant because I didn't know any better. 13 years old, crying my eyes out because my first was one of my favorite cousins that I did not want to get in trouble. 13 years old, not knowing whether if I should stay in silence or tell my loved ones about what happened. 13 years old, feeling disgusted and no support when I tell my loved ones about what happened. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 years old, sharing my experience, yet carrying the weight of what happened. I tell my story not for justice or compassion,
I tell my story because sexual abuse is a global issue that is underestimated. I share my story so others don't feel alone under the same moon. I hope that victims sharing their stories makes it clear that it is not okay to stay quiet out of fear or respect for others. I hope that victims sharing their stories motivates everyone to join on the movement of sexual assault awareness. Now, I would like to invite you all, after the event is over, if you want to approach me and ask questions. Even if they're personal, I'll be open to answer anything, because at the end of the day, this event is to raise awareness, and this is what I'm here for. And I wanted to thank you again.